Hi Virgo, welcome to your June 2018 General Tarot reading. It's Raina. Well, now that I'm conscious about it, I'm going to be doing a different spread. For a couple of the signs, I just drifted right into my typical spread, but I've been doing a different one this month just to kind of mix things up a little bit. And the significator, a card that's kind of like the, I'll just put all these cards together, shuffle once, and pick the card at the bottom of the deck, which is a card that I kind of associate with. The Nine of Pentacles I associate with Virgo, so that's kind of cool. Alrighty then, let's just get into it. So I'll start with that card. This is the focus card, or, the theme. Nine of Pentacles, we're talking about someone who is financially independent. And so anything that we're talking about with this reading, keep that in mind. Because some people stay in negative relationships because they feel like they can't support themselves. Some people stay in jobs because they feel like they are dependent on that job. So this indicates that is not what is happening. So not what is happening. Okay, I'm just going to take the top row since it's so hard to get to. And just, these are all cards that indicate the influences coming into June. Because I'm recording this in mid-May, and if you're watching in mid-May, they may be things that haven't happened yet, so they might be your future. One of them is the Five of Swords. So this can be a card of, an empty victory. You win, but at what cost? Also, there are other people involved. Maybe somebody's doing this to you. Somebody, got the promotion, but they lied to get it. They betrayed you to get it. And so maybe now they're acting like, wow, I'm so great. But really, the end result was that they alienated themselves from you. We also have the Strength card. So if anything negative has been happening, even in your private life with that Five of Swords, if somebody's been cheating or anything like that, you definitely are coming in with a sense of being better than that, and having a very good sense of confidence, not feeling this insecurity about yourself anymore, about who you are, what you're about. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles, and this could be a new job that you are starting. So maybe you've started a new job or a new relationship with a fellow earth sign. Could be also just with the pentacles showing that you're in a new stable relationship. Somebody, a keeper. So we're talking about, I was just thinking about how I said keeper. Somebody said to me, are you from Minnesota? So I talk like I'm from Minnesota, I guess. I think Sarah Palin is from Minnesota, so sometimes I hear shades of Sarah Palin in my voice. So Taurus is an earth sign. Obviously, you are in Capricorn, and that could be literally a relationship that you have started. And obviously, if you're having a relationship with an actual earth sign, you're going to naturally have a lot in common with that person, even attitudinally, where you see things in a similar way. So in June, the 3 cards that speak of this time period are the Star card, which can be really positive for healing from a past situation. It's right under that. I don't know if it was right under that when I picked it up, but it is now, so we'll just say that it is. It's underneath the 5 of Swords, so it's this card of healing from betrayal, from somebody's lies, and feeling that the whole human race isn't contaminated, feeling that there are still good people in this world. You may be actually in love with somebody in June, and it can be something where you're even, like if this is a job situation, you feel like you've got your dream job. And the Ace of Pentacles too could be getting a business loan for your business, or also getting like some kind of money, maybe even an inheritance, or just it's money from the clouds. Maybe it just comes out of nowhere from something that you did not expect. And that restores your faith in life. The Page of Cups, there's Pisces jumping out of that cup. Page of Cups is about looking at where you are gullible. So if you have a tendency to believe what people say to you, with the 5 of Swords, you may have been the victim of somebody's lies. But if you're in a new relationship, you have to learn from your mistakes. If you were too trusting, obviously, I don't like to say that because I don't encourage people to be super suspicious of other people or anything like that. But there are extremes, and one of the extremes can be someone who is just very naive, and they don't question whether somebody is trying to manipulate them or lies to get their needs met and something like that. But it can deal with a new relationship that is emotionally based. So pages can be beginnings too, just like aces. The difference with the ace of, I should say, the difference between the Page of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles is that with the Ace of Pentacles, it could be talking about being good teammates, being people that if you were to be married or the equivalent of marriage, you would be really on the same page, having attitudes towards spending money, which is a big cause of arguments among people sometimes. You would be of one mind when it comes to health matters, perhaps. In other words, practical matters, maybe work matters. And so you don't have that clash that you might have if it was with, for instance, somebody who's a Swords, who's maybe they have a totally different way of approaching life. But also, the relationship may be emotionally based with the Page of Cups. It's like you're starting off with a sense of fondness for this person. So not only is this person a good catch, but they also, in terms of like being, having a good head on their shoulders and being very practical like you are as well, but they can be an emotional connection, which is really the great thing. I mean, if sometimes people are great, it's almost like they're great business partners, and they may be married and they may have children and they work really well together. They may even have a business together, but it's not necessarily romantic. It's not necessarily that there's this deep, deep emotional connection. Whereas I feel like this relationship has the best of both worlds. If this is a job situation, I think you get to exercise your creativity, and that may have been the missing link. And then we have the Emperor card. This is a card that's connected to Aries. So maybe this is that kind of person. It can also be someone who is a police officer, a military person. Maybe this is a job in the military that you've always wanted. I think Virgo people would do very well in the military because they tend to be very regimented. You rule the 6th house of the daily routine, and that is exactly what the military seems to me to be mostly about. And people who don't fare well in that environment are people who are not organized, disciplined, and cannot stay on task, on schedule. And you can. So that kind of life may appeal to you. If you are getting divorced, that may be indicated by that Emperor card, who can be like a judge. And then what's coming in, sometimes this is advice, is the Knight of Cups. I take this as an extension of the Page of Cups. Your knight in shining armor, but this is like an emotional, sensitive individual. You may have been with an individual represented by the 5 of Swords. For instance, let's say this was why can't I talk? Let us say that this was a Gemini person. This person not only may have been dishonest, but they may have been rather, what's the word? Why can't I think straight? They might have been insensitive, and they may have said nasty things to you without even thinking twice, and then wondering why you were hurt and being flippant about it. So this kind of person would never do that to you. The Knight of Cups can also be an artist, and as I said, I thought that perhaps some of you may also have artistic sensibilities that you're trying to deal with or want to exercise. We have here the Hermit, which is your card. Just like the Star card, the Hermit may be like you really tuning into the spiritual side of life, especially how it connects to your own self. With the Star card, you may be interested in astrology, and maybe you're studying something along those lines. But with the Hermit card, I think it's soul searching, and maybe you're trying to decide on something, and you feel like you need to have a lot of alone time in order to do that. The 10 of Wands indicates that you may be working quite a bit, burning the candle at both ends, but this would be in the workplace, to the point that you have to watch out and take care of yourself. But again, with the 9 of Pentacles, the money is probably going to be very good in the month of June. Obviously, this is a general reading, but because of the Ace of Pentacles in the Star card. So maybe you've been waiting on some money, Virgo, that finally comes through for you, and it's like a dream come true. Okay, that's what I have for you. And if you'd like something more tailored to you specifically, in the form of using your natal chart, I have a lot of readings that do that. And you can check my website, Rain and Moon Astrology, for the link to my, my online store. The link is actually below this video. I wish you all the best in June, Virgo. Take care. Bye.